Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Hi and welcome on to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Arsenal played their first pre-season friendly yesterday at their training ground against Leyton Orient, winning the game by 2-0. Gabriel Jesus and Emile Smith-Rowe is actually captain in the game. A guy's been linked with a move away. Both scoring in the game, and the game actually featured a lot of players, first team players. Jesus, as I said, Emile Smith-Rowe, Ben White, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, all of them were playing. So really, really interesting that, Mikel Arteta getting in a pre-season friendly behind closed doors here in the UK. And of course, all of the team are leaving. Well, I say all of the team, minus, of course, players like Declan Rice, Saka, these sort of guys. They're not going to be on the tour. But the rest of the squad leaving today to go to the USA, where they're going to be playing 3 games. Remember, next week they take on Bournemouth, Manchester United, and then they go on the following week to take on Liverpool. Some big games, all against Premier League teams. All of them going to be real good tests, and no signings as of yet. However, good news on the signing front, as it broke yesterday, about Riccardo Calafiori. Riccardo Calafiori is incoming to Arsenal. Here we go, as Fabrizio Romano would say, at last. It looks like this deal is finally going to get done. They can get him on a plane and get him over to that US tour. A full agreement has been reached between the two sides. We already know that Calafiori wanted to join Arsenal. We already know that, a deal had more or less been struck between Arsenal and Bologna, but the big sticking point was, number one, the fee. They were looking to try and get a bit more money out of it, which Arsenal didn't really want to do. There was these big problems with FC Basel, the team that, they bought him off a year ago, that have a 50% sell-on clause, and they want their money, basically. And Bologna didn't want to give them as much as the 50%, and it's just been really, really difficult deal to get done. But confirmed yesterday, the news broken by Fabrizio Romano, then backed up by David Ornstein, 2 really, really good, trusted sources who, once they're sort of going with, this player's coming, it's happening, it usually 95% of the times mean it is going to be happening. They're saying that, and this was Fabrizio Romano, he said that talks took place with his agent Alessandro Lucci, and with Arsenal. Also, talks took place with Bologna as well, and it looks like a deal has finally been struck. Bologna and Basel are agreeing on a structure for their sell-on clause, so the 50% sell-on clause, so they're doing an agreement on that. According to Fabrizio Romano, he's saying that the fee is going to be approximately £34 million plus £4 million in add-ons, and some sort of sell-on clause in there as well. So maybe that is what Arsenal have done to appease Bologna in this deal. And it looks like the deal is finally here. We are finally going to get our man. It was also interesting that Fabrizio Romano said that several clubs have tried to hijack the deal. So you can see how difficult this deal has been. Of course, Calafiori was brilliant at the Euros. He had a brilliant season last year for Bologna, the real star of that Italian team right now. And several clubs were trying to get in there to hijack the deal when they saw the difficulties going on. But Arsenal have held firm on this one, and the player wanted to come to Arsenal. That is important as well. And this deal looks like it's going to get done, and hopefully it will be done in time for next week. Maybe get him out there in time for the Man United game. Maybe he could play some sort of role in that. That game is at next weekend. So here we go, as Fabrizio Romano would say. There were also these rumours about his girlfriend yesterday that, Calafiori's girlfriend came out and said, no, they've split up, but she wishes him all the best in his career at Arsenal. This was a fake account. right? I know it was widely reported by loads of media outlets, loads of, really big ones as well. But it turns out that it was fake. Calafiori's girlfriend coming out and saying, listen, I don't have a TikTok account. That wasn't me. I'm only on Instagram. It was a fake account. And I would never talk about, Calafiori's future and stuff like that in public. So that was a fake account. But it is happening. And Riccardo Calafiori set for a medical next week. Arsenal apparently want to get this wrapped up as soon as possible and get him in and doing a lot of pre-season work. So that's great. That will be one signing. There was also this rumour yesterday. Today I saw this one from the Daily Express. Now, according to them, Arsenal exploring ways to try to sign Marc Guehi of Crystal Palace. How many more defenders are we going to, come on. If we're getting Calafiori, surely we don't need another centre-back. As good as Guehi's been, he was absolutely incredible, I thought, in the Euros. I think, personally, England's best player. When you put things in context, when you consider that at the start of, the tournament, he was coming in for Maguire. It was an area of worry. It was actually, he did brilliantly in literally every game he played in. But he's for sale. Well, I say for sale if the price is right by Crystal Palace. They don't want to sell him. And they've even set a price of around about 70 million for Marc Guehi. However, according to the Daily Express, Arsenal are prepared to offer a chance of a swap deal to Crystal Palace. They know that Crystal Palace would like to buy Eddie Nketiah. So they're saying, we'll give you Eddie plus money for Marc Guehi. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing this one. I'm really not. It's a rumour. We report on the rumours. It's the Daily Express that have come with it. But I just cannot see that happening. Now that Calafiori's coming in, how many more defenders? Ben White. Remember, we're talking about centre-back. Ben White can play centre-back. Tomiyasu can play centre-back. You've got Saliba. You've got Gabriel. Right? Now you've got Calafiori. He's also a centre-back who can play left-back as well. That's 5. Even Declan Rice can play as a centre-back. That's 6. And you're going to bring Marc Guehi as well. Marc Guehi is playing week in, week out, playing for England. What's going to come and sit on the bench? Come on, Express, man. I don't know where you got this rumour from. I just can't see it. Talking of Eddie Nketiah, Foot Mercato publication over there in France claiming that Eddie Nketiah wants to join Marseille. Now, we know that Marseille have been very, very interested in signing Eddie Nketiah. They reportedly had their initial bid for him not backed by Arsenal. It's said to be too low. But this publication is saying that Marseille have sent a new offer into Arsenal, which Arsenal are considering, and talks are taking place between the two clubs. And that Eddie Nketiah is informed Arsenal that he would like to join Marseille. This is an interesting one. It surprises me if that's the case and Eddie Nketiah wants to go and join Marseille. Number one, they've signed Mason Greenwood, who's also a striker. Number two, there's so many clubs in the Premier League that are interested in Eddie, and I do think he'll end up at one of those clubs, that it would be really surprising for me if he did go to Marseille or if Marseille was his preference over a Premier League club. But that's at Foot Mercato. Remember, they're a French publication, so they're going to be pushing that. That's what they're saying today. But certainly be surprised to see Eddie Nketiah here by the end of the transfer window, although he is going to be on that plane for the pre-season tour over there in the US. How is that going to be for players like Eddie, Reece Nelson, these guys that are going out for the pre-season tour, but know that the likelihood of them playing for Arsenal is very, very slim next season? It's going to be a real weird one for them. Nico Williams, big update on this one. Now, Nico Williams, of course, been heavily linked with a move to Arsenal, heavily linked with a move to Barcelona. Barcelona are said to want to get this wrapped up as soon as possible. Sport, the publication over there in Spain, saying that they want to get the deal done, Barcelona, by the end of next week. However, very interestingly, yesterday, Atletico Bilbao's manager, Ernesto Valverde, he said that he is very, very confident that Nico Williams is going to stay at Athletic Bilbao. I've said this right from the beginning, that he's very happy there. He doesn't really want to leave, although now he's done what he's done at the Euros, he may be tempted with a move away. But he's stating here, the manager, he said he's very happy at the club. And that, he's saying that he's looking for him to continue with things once he's back from his holidays. Athletic Bilbao want to keep Nico Williams. Obviously, he's one of the stars right now of Spanish football. Barcelona pushing it out there very aggressively that they want to get this signing done by the end of next week. So they're being very aggressive with it. Arsenal just sort of on the wings, waiting to see what happens. This is an interesting one. Will he stay or will he go? Will it be Barcelona? Will Arsenal look to go out there and trigger that release clause of £47 million? Or who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with this one? It's certainly going to look like he'll end up at one of them 3 places. Barcelona still the favourites for his signature, but interesting yesterday that the manager's saying, no, he's staying. Arsenal set to make another signing. That could possibly be done today. Medical set for Tommy Setford, the 18-year-old goalkeeper from Ajax. He's signing. He's doing his medical at Arsenal. Not sure if he'll be on the tour. Maybe, but definitely one for the future, age only 18. And then there's Chido Obi Martin. We spoke about this one yesterday. The guy who was firing on those goals in the youth team last year for Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano claiming that Manchester United want to get this done as soon as possible. I spoke about yesterday how he visited Carrington, Manchester United's training ground. He's also been going around a lot of different training grounds and seeing a lot of teams across Europe and the Premier League. It looks to me like he's definitely going. Arsenal not going to be able to hold on to him, and Manchester United looks like he's where he's going to end up. And Adrian Rabiot, his agents apparently have held talks with Arsenal as well as Spurs, Manchester United as well. He wants to come to the Premier League. Looks like Manchester United is his favoured destination. But could Arsenal still make a move for him? He's a free agent, so there'd be no fee. It would just be wages. 29 years of age, very experienced player, very good player. But it looks to me more that Arsenal, they're more set on Marino than bringing in a Rabiot on a sort of temporary sort of basis. But let's see how that one works out. But I still think Rabiot, probably Manchester United. So listen, good news. As Arsenal depart out on the tour, it does look like they're going to get the big signing of Riccardo Calafiori done. We'll love to see him over there in pre-season. Looking forward to seeing him in an Arsenal shirt. But some positive news on, the sort of transfer front. But we need some more. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.